You'll be 79 years in a couple of days. But you don't look it. What is the secret of your strength and stamina?
Oh, thank you very much. This is a good question, I suppose. I think there's no secret other than taking life easy and not hustling yourself every time or putting yourself under intense pressure. I live well, live peacefully with other people, and take care of what you eat and what you drink. Fortunately, I don't smoke from childhood, so that is a plus for me. I don't drink alcohol from childhood. That's an extra plus for me. All these are major disease contributors, and so I can say my life has been easy, and I thank God. I'm very healthy, by the way. At 79, as you said, I'm fit. Yes, I don't have any of the old people's ailments. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes. I don't have you name it. I don't have it. I can read even my text without glass. So I think God has been very kind to me in that.
That's impressive. You were in the military for many years. So what prompted you to join the military, and what was the experience like?
Well, when you say military for many years, I think you're a little bit wrong. I was in the military for less than 20 years. Less than 20 years from the time I joined to the time I got out. But I think it was more like a challenge or an excitement or peer group. When I joined the military, in my class alone, we had 10 officers. We graduated 10 officers out of 60 in the intake, the whole intake. So you could see my class took over 1/6 of the whole intake, and therefore I had so many of my friends who went there in the army with me, and because of this kind of peer group thing, it was easier for us to get on and take the challenge. For excitement, then a serious business. Really. Initially, I had no intention of joining the army initially, but I think when we went for the exams, then my class in my year, there used to be what is called HSC, High School Certificate, and my school, Bida Government College now, was not even a center for the exams. So for us to sit for the exam, we had to go to Kefi Government College from Bida. And not all the class went, only about 16, 17 of us were selected to go for the exams. And when we finished, well, this army exams came. So most of us wanted to have a break from the monitoring of long holidays then. We started to go to Kaduna, and of course the excitement of going to Kaduna then was great. For those of us who are village boys who was in Kaduna, now an opportunity has arisen that I could go to Kaduna. So I followed my other classmates, about 12 or 13 of us, to Kaduna to sit for the exams. And we started the exams, it was becoming more exciting every day. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, 10 of us get admission from the same class. So you can imagine the excitement. So all of us finally said, well, let's go to the army even for the sake of it. And there we ended up, and you can see my classmates, how many generals were produced. I think almost 7, 8 generals we have produced. People like General Babangida, Absalam, Nasko, Duba, Baza, Sami Mogoro. But all my classmates, generals. Then there are 2 or 3 of us who couldn't make it the general class, like myself and the late Ndapozu. Ndapozu would have made general, obviously, but unfortunately he died in a crash after the war. So the excitement of being in the army, I think. And I'm happy. I don't have any regret for being in the army. I enjoyed it. The army was very good. For me, I was lucky. I was at Sandhurst, where I met many people around the world, and a big academy, and made many new friends from various parts of the world. That gave me an age advantage. So I think I was very lucky. And when I came back after my commission, I turned to Nigeria and was posted to Enugu and met a lot of many other friends and other young officers like me. And we became very good friends. Some of them will remain lifetime friends. So I think the army provided me with a lot of opportunities and a lot of excitement. I don't regret doing the army at all.
None of the children told your part by joining the army. Would you have loved at least one of them to have joined the military?
Why not? It's interesting to look that two of my sons went to Nigerian military school. And one of them even went to NDA. But when he went to NDA, he could not, I think, stand the brutality of NDA. And he left, and I supported him because I never supported brutality at all in institutions. I went to Sandhurst. We had no brutality in Sandhurst. Of course, yes, you are punished if you commit an offense, but not the kind of brutality which we saw in NDA in those days. I don't know what is now. And when my son said he didn't like NDA, and he came with so many pebbles in his head, I didn't question him. I said, okay, please do whatever you want to do. But I wish at least one of them could have probably make my dream. Well, my dream had been to be a general myself too, but I couldn't make it. So I would have wished one of my sons became a general. It would be exciting, General Sani Bello. And not the ordinary Sani Bello, another Sani Bello. But I'm not complaining.
Well, you retired from the military service in 1979. About 2 years later, you founded Mustafa Comprehensive School, which today is 40 years. Have you always desired to own a school, or something prompted you to establish one?
Honestly, I don't know why. All my life I wanted to be a school bursar. I always loved to be a school bursar. I don't know why. Probably because the bursar in my secondary school then was influential and powerful, I may say. And he was a kind of role model to me. So I wanted to be a school bursar. But God will have it, I didn't end up to be a school bursar, but a school proprietor. And the reason why I started the school was essentially because of my children, because of one or two of my children. When I left the army, my children were going to school in Kano, St. Thomas Primary School, which was, as you know, St. Thomas Kano was very good school. So after I left the army, I decided to go back to Kontagora and stay there, thinking that everything was the same like I left it when I was in primary school myself. And I sent my children, two of my sons, to the Central Primary School, where I was as a young man, as a small boy. But every day they came back from school, they were complaining. No this, no that, no teacher was sleeping. They said, hey, what's wrong with that school? I thought the school was bad. So I changed them to another school. That one did not change, the complaint did not stop. Then I changed them to another school. And I said, this time let me take you to the Army Children's School. If there's nothing else, you will learn discipline. So I sent them to Army Children's School, and even that they were still complaining. But I said, well, by the grace of God, my next child, who was Sani Bello, would not go to this kind of school. I would give him a school of my liking and my standards, so that he would be able to not complain to me again about the quality of education. So I started as a hobby with a nursery school, Mustafa, in 1981, September. My intention was to stop at nursery school, to be honest. After 2 years, I would say, okay, parents take their children away and leave me alone. That's the reason why the first year I built a classroom block with 2 classes, only 2 classes, and head teachers. And fortunately, by that time, I was chairman of Niger State National Youth Service. And at that time also, there was another thing which was to my advantage. NCE graduates were doing NYSC. So what I did was, I went and selected 2 young ladies who had a teacher training certificate experience and also went through NCE. So you can see they were professional teachers, well-trained teachers, and I invited them to come and start my school as NYSC. I put one of them called a Sese, a group of best memory, the head teacher. So after 2 years, I was ready to say, go. But then the parents said, no, you're not fit. You have given our children good nursery education, you must go to primary school. So that I had no choice but to start building another classroom block again. 2. Thinking what? I was reluctantly drag on to primary school until I went to primary 6. Then I turned up. I said, no, I'm not going to move forward. I'll stop here. For many years, I think about 3-4 years or so, the parents were complaining that I'm throwing their children to the market. After I've given them good primary education, I must continue secondary school. Well, reluctantly I said, okay, let me do junior secondary school. So, while in junior secondary school, my intention was to stop there. But again, pressure on parents. So how could you do that after you have done all the work? I said, I don't have a classroom. I don't have, even your classroom now are good enough. So reluctantly, I pushed on and finished to primary, to SS3. And that's where we are today. It has been a rewarding experience. When I look back and I see my graduates, those young men and women that I saw, some of them in panties, especially the first day when they came to school, they were crying and weeping. And they would have to talk to them, to ask their parents, please tell them to shut up. And now they are grown-ups, responsible citizens, taking very key portions in Nigerian society. I feel honored and proud that I made a good, wise choice. I started the school. Honestly, I'm very happy I started the school, and the people who benefited from the school, I think, I don't know, I think, I wish I would be grateful to you, I think. They may not, but I think it was a good school. Mustafa had been a very good school, and I think it still is, I think, but now I'm getting old, I don't pay much attention to Mustafa like I used to before. Before I used to go for morning assembly to make sure things were done properly like I wanted them to be done. But of course, time has changed now. I'm passing the baton to the younger generation. But I'm happy I have Mustafa Comprehensive School.
You've actually answered most of the question, but I will still go ahead and flash back to 40 years ago, sir. Are you proud of what Mustafa Comprehensive School is today vis-a-vis the quality of students produced?
Oh yes, I'm very, very proud of what Mustafa has produced. Very, very proud. What is it we didn't produce? We produce doctors, academic doctors, medical doctors, engineers, teachers, soldiers, officers, gentlemen officers. You tell me, what else are you looking for from my school? Our school has lived up to expectation, up to my expectation. The teachers have done very, very well, produced such qualitative students who went to various universities in Nigeria and excelled. Not only were they ordinary students in the universities, they excelled. They did very, very well, exceedingly well. Some of them did exceedingly well. So what else am I looking for? I think that they did very well. I have got my pleasure. I brought pleasure whenever I met any of my former students. He says, you don't know me. I said, you look familiar. Of course I don't know him. I was in your school before. I said, who are you? He said, I'm a doctor. I said, congratulations. So I do that. Some years back, I was in Mina for this army rehabilitation, to know patient evaluation, to see those who are dead and those who are living. Fortunately, I was still among the living. So when I went there, I found the whole world packed full. I started thinking, shall I wait or shall I go? One mind said, well, how much is my pension? My pension was probably about 20,000 naira. I said, shall I wait? What's the 20,000 naira to me now? Anyway, I said, let me sit down and watch the crowd. And so I sat right to the back. Then after some time, I had my name being shouted. I said, it's me. So I went there. I found when doing the computer work for preparing. He said, sir, sit down. I sat down. He did. He said, sir, you don't know me. I said, no, I don't know you. He said, I was your student in most of our computers. I felt honored. That's the kind of reward I get every time as I saw my own students. I was very happy, very proud of him too.
So what does your heart desire for the school at 40?
Well, to continue growing from strength to strength. It has done well. It could do better. Like Oliver Twist, I don't have enough. I want more. I demand more from my teachers. I demand more from my students. I demand more from my non-academic staff. And I demand more from stakeholders, like PTA. Because the school is actually a community school, as you know. Literally a community school, because I think it's probably the cheapest school in Nigeria of its quality today, and even then. And I challenge everybody to tell me a school with the kind of quality we had in that school that is as cheap or cheaper than ours, than my school. That is none. So, because I wanted the community to benefit, and alhamdulillah, the community has benefited. We're having quite a number of young men and women now graduating from the school and taking responsible positions in the universities and academia. So, we're not looking for anything more. They are doing what they are supposed to do. The school is doing what it's set to do. Produce quality students to feed the universities, what they are doing, including my future university.
Now, away from anniversary talk, usually there are flurries of activities that herald your birthdays, particularly for the people of Contabra. So what plans do you have for them this year?
Yeah, we have great plans. My birthday, the most important thing which we have this year is we have got medical outreach. I'm bringing 18 doctors and nurses for Kaduna to come and give free medical service, ranging from fibroid to goiter to hernia, eyeglasses, eye surgeries. Last year we operated, I think, about 350 people. This year we'll do more, or about the same number. I expect the same number. To help people, it's free of charge, and we don't discriminate. We don't say you must be from Contabra alone. Last year we had people from Sokoto who came. Somebody even came from Lagos for operation in my outreach. So this year too is going to be good. I hope the responsibility will be, the response will be as good as it was last year. Then this year we're also bringing special lunch for orphans. We are inviting, I think, about 100 orphans to give them lunch to live with us, to see what life is. And we give them some books, we give them some other things to feel that they are human beings to help them. We're also, of course, we are graduating two sets of students from Mustafa, because last year we could not graduate our students because of COVID. So this year we're graduating two sets of students at the same time. Well, that's another thing. The other thing which we are going to do this year again, we're graduating, we have got a vocational training center also under our foundation, under Sani Bello Foundation. So we have trained young men and women in various skills acquisition, and they've acquired a lot of skills, ranging from repairs of computers to telephones, to catering service, to tailoring, hairdressing, all sorts of things. So we are graduating at set 2 this time. So I think, of course, there will be a visual drama and dance and singing. And that's it. I think there will be more. I don't know. I think there will be a lot. Some of it, of course, will be a surprise even to me. But what I know are these ones which I mentioned to you.
Okay, while talking, you mentioned COVID-19, and now we're down to issues relating to COVID-19.
No.
COVID-19 forced the entire human race to take a break. So, do you have any plan for or desire to retire anytime soon, considering our age?
I'm already retired. What retirement? I'm already retired. The army retired me in 1979, and I managed to keep on, and I kept on to what I have today. And I'm trying to. I don't know what you mean by retirement. Retirement is the mind. Sometimes I want to get to give everything up, which I do. I really don't bother now much like before. But if you speak by retirement, I'll stop doing everything and I sit down 24/7 in my small room, probably reading or hearing gossips and stories. But I don't like to. I don't like to sit down 24/7 doing nothing. Don't forget I'm a farmer. I've got a farm. And as long as my farm is there, as long as I can walk, as long as I can see, I'm fit, I will go to somewhere. I can travel to go and enjoy some other parts of my life, and meet other friends. And unfortunately now, with the security situation in Nigeria, which is has really made meeting friends very difficult. Now traveling or driving now is very difficult. It's very insecure. The security situation is very bad. One has to be very cautious, especially people like me. So I try not to travel out as much as I can, as before. But I would have to, if not because of this insecurity. COVID did not stop me from traveling. I think I'm very well. Unfortunately, COVID, touch wood, I think COVID is almost dying now. It's almost ending. When you go to our village, the villagers say COVID is not the disease of the city people. I mean, of the village people. COVID is the disease of the city people. People like you who live in towns and urban areas. The village people, they don't know that's COVID. You go to their markets, you go to their bosses, you go to their churches. They are shoulder to shoulder. No social distancing, no masks, nothing. And that's the well, I too am part of the villages, so I enjoy. I'm free, I'm well.
It's been very exciting speaking with you, sir, and having you on the show. I want to say congratulations once more on your birthday and the 40th anniversary of Mustafa Comprehensive School. Thank you very much for giving us your time.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your program. I hope we will have a very successful 70th anniversary and 41st year of Mustafa Comprehensive School anniversary. Thank you very much. 2 anniversaries are very important to me, and I look forward to seeing them.